Have you ever felt anger rising inside you because of someone's words? Maybe a friend said something hurtful. Maybe your boss yelled at you for no reason. Maybe someone ignored your message, and suddenly your whole mood shifted. But here's a truth we often forget. No one can make you angry unless you give them permission. There was once a man who burned with anger at the smallest things. He believed everyone around him was the problem. But one unexpected meeting transformed his entire life. This is his story, and maybe it is yours too. In a quiet village near the mountains lived a man named Rahim. He was well known, not for kindness or wisdom, but for his temper. If his wife Amina forgot to add salt in the food, Rahim shouted as if the sky would fall. If a cow wandered into his field, he screamed until the entire village could hear. Even when children laughed and played outside his home, he would yell at them to be quiet. He truly believed the world was filled with disrespectful, foolish people. He never once considered that the problem lived inside him. Amina often tried to calm him with gentle words. She would ask why he allowed such small things to steal his peace. But Rahim would explode, insisting that people should know how to behave, that he could not stay calm when others showed no respect. Without realizing it, he handed his peace to everyone around him. Anyone, even a child, could shatter his calm in seconds. One summer morning, a monk arrived in the village. He wore simple white clothes, and his face carried a stillness like water untouched by wind. He sat quietly under a banyan tree near the village well. People whispered that he spoke little, but his words touched hearts deeply. Amina urged Rahim to meet him. Rahim laughed and dismissed the idea, convinced that no monk could understand the fools he dealt with daily. But the next day, fate intervened. While working in his field, a neighbor's young son accidentally broke one of Rahim's tools. Rahim lost control completely. His shout was so loud that birds scattered from the trees in fear. The boy burst into tears and ran home. That evening, Rahim sat alone, anger still burning in his chest. For the first time, a quiet voice within him asked why he always felt worse after shouting. That night, sleep refused to come. Before sunrise, something deeper than curiosity pulled him toward the banyan tree. The monk sat peacefully with closed eyes, listening to birds. Rahim stood awkwardly, unsure how to begin. Finally, he admitted he was tired, that people made him angry, and he could not control himself. The monk opened his eyes, smiled gently, and invited him to sit. He asked how long anger usually lasted. Rahim admitted sometimes an hour, sometimes an entire day. And when it faded, Rahim sighed and confessed he felt empty, sad, and drained. The monk nodded slowly and said that anger burns the one who holds it, not the one it is thrown at. He picked up a cup of water and showed Rahim its stillness. When shaken, he explained, "You cannot see your reflection. Your mind works the same way. When disturbed, you cannot see truth." Rahim asked if he should simply stay silent when insulted. The monk smiled and answered no. Learn to respond, not react. When someone throws dirt at you, you can catch it or step aside. The choice is always yours. The next morning, the monk asked Rahim to bring water and sand. As the water boiled, Rahim stepped back, unable to touch the heat. The monk explained that this was anger. When emotions boil, peace burns. He dropped sand into the pot, and the water turned muddy. This, he said, is your mind when you react. Then he poured the water into a bowl and waited. Slowly the sand settled, leaving the water clear again. When you stop reacting, your mind settles. You see life clearly. Rahim sat in silence, realizing he had spent years boiling his own inner water. For the next several days, Rahim practiced calmness. When someone irritated him, he breathed slowly and reminded himself to step aside, not catch the dirt. His old habits resisted fiercely. One day, a merchant tried to cheat him in the market. His blood boiled and his fist tightened. But he stopped. He breathed deeply, said he would buy from someone honest, and walked away peacefully. That night, for the first time in years, he slept without restlessness. But change is always tested. One morning, young men in the village mocked him, calling him a calm goat instead of an angry lion. Rahim felt heat rising. His old self screamed at him to shout back. But he remembered the monk's words. When you react, you give your power away. He smiled and told them they were right, that he used to be angry, but was now learning something better. Confused, they asked how he could stay calm while being insulted. Rahim replied that when someone offers poison, you do not have to drink it. They fell silent. Weeks passed. Amina noticed a deep change. He no longer yelled at children or shouted over small mistakes. He smiled more often and handled problems with patience. One morning, Rahim visited the monk again and bowed before him. He said he had finally understood. People never made him angry. It was his own mind. He could choose peace instead of pain. The monk smiled and told him he had learned well. Life would always bring tests, but every time he stayed calm, he grew stronger within. Rahim asked if people would ever stop testing him. The monk laughed softly and answered that when the storm sees you no longer run from it, it stops chasing you. Years passed, and Rahim became the calmest man in the village. People came to him for advice. He would always say that peace is not found outside. It grows inside. One day, a young boy asked if people still made him angry. Rahim smiled and said sometimes they tried, but when you do not react, their power disappears. You cannot control the wind, but you can control how you sail. He looked toward the mountains and said that when he stopped reacting, he finally started living. We cannot stop people from saying hurtful things. We cannot stop life from testing us, but we can stop giving others the power to steal our peace. Every reaction is a choice. Every moment of calm is strength. The one who controls his reaction controls his life. So the next time someone tries to disturb your peace, smile and whisper to yourself, I will not catch the dirt. Real strength is not in shouting back. Real strength is staying peaceful while the world tries to shake you.